Now, today we understand network file service, NFS. Using this service, you share our file in between Linux workgroup. Here we share a file in between two Linux node, two or more Linux node. First of all, we understand service profile of NFS. NFS is the system we manage service. It's require NFS util packet for NFS server. First of all, install this packet in our system if you want to configure an NFS server. Just see in our terminal, we install the NFS utils. There are three packets are available. We use a star character. We install NFS packet in our Linux terminal with rpm-ivh command. After installing a packet, just see in our terminal, there are 6 domain: NFSS, lock, RPC IOID, MountTD, RQETAD and STTD. There are 6 domains are required for NFS. It's running in our NFS. There are 2 script files available in NFS and NFS lock. Both are services. If you want to start an NFS server, just start the NFS service with service NFS start command. If you want to lock NFS, just run the service NFS lock start command. Basically, there are 2 type of port we are using in NFS: 2049 port for NFSD domain and 111 port for port map domain. Here the NFS server configuration file is exports file and it's stored in etc directory. You also see the related file of NFS in our screen. Now we understand NFS server. The NFS server configuration file is exports file and it's stored in etc directory. Here in this file we set our set directory. The syntax see on a screen: directory name, then type host name. For we share a directory, there are the list of options we are used with host name. Here in a screen you can see the one exports file. Here in this file we share a local directory for curtwork.com domain with read-only options. We also share a home directory for 192.168.0.0 network with read-write options. We also share a project directory for @dev mail for @dev domain with read-write options. We also share a TMP directory for 192.168.0.1 host with read-write options. So here you share a directory for any domain, any networks, any DNS and for any particular host with list of options. Here you can use many type of options. Here we understand 2 options: read only, that means arrow, and read write, that means write options. You can see on a screen there are list of options we are used in our exports file. First is the secure options. So here require the client request to originate from securely ports. In secure options, it means reverse of a secure. You also use the arrow, it means read only. Using these options you only read the file, read the directory. Read write, that means you read and write both, that means you change in our directory. You also use asynchronous options, ASYNC. It means it's allow the server to cache disk write to improve performance. You also use the sync options. Using these options you force the server to perform a disk write before the request is considered complete. Next you use the subtree_check options. Using these options, it's a file system such as subdirectory and it's exported, and directory checking makes sure that the file request apply to a file in exported portion of the file system or not. Next is a no underscore subtree underscore check. It means it disables the subtree underscore check. You also use the W delay options. Using these options, you allow the server to delay a disk write if it is believed unrelated disk write and may be requested soon, or if one is in a progress, it's improving the overall performance. You also use a no underscore W delay. It means a disable of a W delay. Next is a root as file options. Using these options, you map all requests from UID or GID of 0 to UID or GID respectively. Next is no underscore root underscore squad options. It means disable of root underscore squad options. Next, all underscore escorts option. It means you map all requests from UID or GID to UID or GID of any unmouse user. Next is no underscore all underscore squads users. It means disable of all underscore escorts user. Next is a non-UID is equal to UID. Using this option, you set the UID of unmouse account to UID. Next is a non-GID is equal to GID. It means using this option, you set the GID of unmouse account to GID. So this is the list of options. Here you see the exports file. In this file, we say a list of file and directory using the different options. Just see, there are for domain, portmap, mountid, NFSD and std, and its domains are running in our NFS server. You also see the domain functions, which type of functions are performed in which type of domain. And here the NFS domains should be started in following order. Just see in our terminal. First of all, start the portmap, then NFSD, then mountd, then std, and last rcotd if necessary. Now we perform NFS operation in our network. Here in our network has a two computer, two Linux machine. Both machine IP addresses 192.168.10.1 and 192.168.10.2. First of all, we entry directory list in our exports file. Just see example. The exports file stored in our etc directory. First of all, we open one Linux server system where we want to share a list of directory. Is the first step to configure an NFS server. So open exports file using a VI editor. Now in this file we share home directory for 192.168.10.2 system with read write and sync options. We also share etc directory for 192.168.10.2 host with read only and sync options. Finally save and quit the file. So here in server system we share two directory, home and etc, for 192.168.10.2 options. So for that we edit some directory in our exports file. In second step, finally start NFS service, port map service and NFS log service with this command.